FLD Nights with your host, Derek D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of FLD Nights. I got a really cool guest with me tonight. I met him years ago, probably at I'll talk to him about it in a second, but these crazy auditions. But anyway, Comedy Central, he's at his own shows. He's been a regular on the Artie Lang Show, and he does stand-up all over the place, LA, New York. He's been around for years. Ladies and gentlemen, my buddy Geno Bisconte. What's up, brother?
Hey, buddy, it's good to be
see
here.
you. A fellow Italiano.
Cento per cento, signore. What are we doing here? How's it going, Boo?
Just call me Boo.
I've been calling everyone Boo lately. I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's fine. Good to have you on the show, man.
Dude, thanks for having me. Great to finally share some camera time with you.
I hear that.
Because you said at the beginning, like, we always seem to, like, bump into each other because we're both very good hosts, I believe. And we would just go on these auditions back when you would have to. We had one audition for a football show as a host, and it was.
I remember, like, literally they put him in like a board, like a boardroom, and it was like a whiteboard, and you had to write on it. Yeah. I was like, what is it? But the check cleared.
Yeah, we were saying, like,
we got paid. I was like, should I cash this?
Yeah, and the next day, then we hung out a week later. We're like, do you think this is real? I'm like, if it's not real, it's the worst scam ever because my check cleared.
Yeah. Welcome to the entertainment industry, folks. If you don't know, like, this is the kind of stuff we have like a million stories.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna put my pants back on and leave. I'm not waiting.
No, that didn't happen.
No, I didn't put my pants back on.
You left them off the whole time. We all know that.
I'm not a quitter.
So, Geno, name of this game. One word.
One word is actually two words, though. You realize that, right?
I do, but what I'm saying is...
You really didn't give that a lot of thought.
I thought I gave it a good amount of thought because it's so simply one word. Now, do you think...
Is there a hyphen between the one and word?
No.
Something to think about.
No, it's W-O-N. Word.
Oh. Ah, I see what you did. Or you could have the number with the word because then it's one word and one number, but now it's 4 words.
Now it's 4 words.
It's one word and one number.
We're just going to go with one word. Actually, we're going to go with the number 1 and then the word.
You know what you should call this?
What should we call this?
Tedious, like the conversation. That's one word.
One word.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I will say either 1 or 2 words, but you can only say 1 word.
All
right, here we go. Time on the clock? There is no clock.
There's no
Don't
clock.
even worry about that.
There's 1 word, 0 clocks.
One word for you, multiple words for me, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, I'm excited.
Me too. Ready. All right, here we go. Steering wheel.
Car.
Road.
Head.
Drive-in.
Movie.
Drive-through.
McDonald's.
Seatbelt.
Ha! Sissy.
0 to 60.
In 10 seconds.
Stick shift.
Car.
Back seat.
Love.
Wheels.
Chris Wheeler.
Driving.
Miss Daisy.
Police.
Duck.
Traffic.
L.A.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ice cream truck.
Bait.
Speeding.
Ticket.
Trunk.
Eddie.
Motorcycles.
Dangerous.
Door.
Knob.
And that's 1 word.
Did I win?
That's
Did
1
I win?
word. Yes.
When you said stick shift, I didn't want to say car. No one. We were talking about that. No one drives stick shifts anymore. It's ridiculous.
You told me earlier, your first car, you said it was a pickup truck?
Yes.
Manual?
I grew up in South Jersey on a farm, and my first truck was that. It was a white Toyota.
Hold it right there. South Jersey on a farm. See that? Haters in New Jersey? Farms we got a lot. Keep going.
Vineland, New Jersey, the largest city area-wise in New Jersey. If something ever happens to Trenton, and it could because Camden's right next door, Vineland becomes the capital of New Jersey, so you think about that. But I grew up on a farm, and we had a hand-me-down pickup truck, and it was this little 1980 Toyota pickup, and my dad taught me how to drive stick on it. Then the first car I got was a Jeep. There was a stick. Second car I got was a Golf. And then when my Golf died, and
What year?
It was a 1997 Golf K2, and it came with a snowboard.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah. And
So,
they had the K2 version that came with a bike as well.
Yeah, a year later, but I don't bike. I snowboard drunk. But I had that car when I lived in Delaware, then I moved up to New York in 2001, and that car I had 10 years, 97 through 2007, 200,000 miles on it, and when it finally died, it just rode it into the ground. My friends were like, what happened to your car? I'm like, it disintegrated. What happened to my car?
Yeah.
But I made the mistake of when that car died, I'm like, I'm getting another. And let me ask you this, because you deal with cars for a living. Don't you always get people who say, oh, well, let me tell you, a Fiat's a piece of crap, or those VWs are a piece of crap? I firmly believe it's not anything other than the individual car.
Let me tell you something.
Would you
tell me something about this car industry? I could be a little more.
Please.
You go to auto shows, dude. You talk to everyone thinks every other car sucks.
Right.
Oh, it's like this chip on the shoulder, like, oh, did you see that new Fiat? Sucks.
Yeah.
oh, do you see the new Ford Mustang? The lights are terrible. Do you see? It's like, stop.
Right.
Just stop, people.
I didn't realize so many metrosexuals were buying cars, but go on. Who knew?
Hey, you see that over here? Does you see this?
Yo, Tony!
Yo,
What
Tony.
is it?
But seriously, it's
Right.
so like everything's, and honestly, we're at the point in time in the world where, like, in the future,
Technology, sure.
every car works pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a Kia for nothing, and Kia has stepped up their game tremendously for nothing, and you can, you know, Bluetooth, loaded up stereo system, name brand, all stuff. Yeah, the engine doesn't go fast. It's, you know, it's probably going to sound like an electric car almost, but it's so funny how you talk to
And
car
people do
like
that.
car industry people. That's why it's just like in the comedy world. Like every comedian almost hates every other comedian, it seems like sometimes.
But they always have an opinion about, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like after I got my Golf, I'm like, well, I'm going to get another, but it was the year 2007, they stopped making Golfs. So I was going to get a Rabbit. My brother's like, no, Gene, you know, and it was right after that show, Love Taxi, was supposed to air, and I had all that money. So I'm like, all right, so I bought myself an EOS, the VW EOS, which I thought was a convertible Passat, but it's not. It's a girl car. It's a hardtop cabrio. I don't know.
You bought an EOS?
It's too late. I've already got the EOS. I got the tramp stamp. I'm committed to the car.
Bought an EOS.
And it wasn't a stick, but they're like, oh, well, it's got the Tiptronic. And the
Well, in that
Tiptronic
car-
is not the same
in that
as
car,
a
I don't
stick.
remember. Was that a 2.0
Yeah,
turbo?
2.0.
Was it a turbo?
It was a turbo.
Okay, you had a little bit of oomph
But
in
it's
there.
not the
I know, I
same as
get
when
it.
you
Well, it's an
shift.
EOS.
Yeah.
It's
Here we go.
What color was it? Pink?
What's that?
Okay.
No.
Red?
No, what with my
Oh, is that
uterus,
light blue?
it was a mauve. But when you shift the car, there's just, you know, you really feel like you're at one with it when you have a
100%.
genuine
You got the
stick.
clutch and you got the shift, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you still have an EOS? You drive
No,
it again?
it died. It had so many problems, and everyone's like, VWs are terrible. And I'm like, no, they're not. It's the individual car. It's whatever car. And I finally got rid of it. And you know what I drive now? And I love it. It's like, of all the cars I've ever owned, I bought a used Chevy Sonic 4-door stick. It gets about 36 a gallon. I can park it anywhere in the city. And it's orange. It's like me. It's obnoxious. You either love it or hate it. You're like, what the hell is that? Or, oh, look at that cute little thing.
That's Geno in the form of a car.
It really is. And it's exactly, it's got the Bluetooth, it's got the stereo, it's got a stick, and it gets great gas mileage. And that's all I need right now. You know, when I get a house, when I'm, you know, and have like a real life, which will never happen. I'll probably have someone driving me around in an ambulance. But then I'll get a car. But this car is all I want. And I've had it with all these people like, oh, that's a terrible car, or that car sucks. But then, you know what? Drive me around in your car, because this car is fine.
Yeah.
As comedians, we drive all the time. Like, the real work of comedy is not getting on stage and getting to buzz balls and
being on the road.
We're truckers. The real fun part of these shows is just like when you pack a bunch of comedians into, you know, like a car, and that you're just like sitting there in the ride just telling horror stories about the gigs you've done.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? But that was always funny because the 4 years I had the EOS, it was a nightmare because I'd go to drive and there's no room in the back seat, and then it was a 2-hour ride of a comic berating me, calling me a half a sissy for even having the car. You know?
When you had the EOS, did you go on any dates?
No, I was in a relationship for the longest time. And
Yeah, I remember you. Are you still?
No.
Oh yeah, I remember you a long time. You
Yeah,
were.
they'll never find her body. They're gonna look. Oh, they're gonna look, people. But what am I, stupid? There's a trunk in my Sonic, and you can keep lie and shovels it. No, she's doing really well, but
Lie.
yeah. But this is New York. You never go on car dates, do you?
I guess not. No, not New York.
I can't imagine taking a chick out in the orange Sonic. It's fun to tell you about. You're a comedian, but I'm not gonna put a chick in that friggin' road flare. No way. No chance in that.
She's like, what is that a burnt chicken nugget? What's going on here?
But I
What am
once had sex with that chick on the hood of a car in a rainstorm. It wasn't even my car. Dented that hood up. That was really nice.
Was it just like outside
Oh,
rain?
just outside.
It was rain. You were like in
Just
that like
rain,
movie
hammered.
moment.
It was like, yeah, and then you spend another 9 years trying to have sex like that again, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't. You know what happens? She just castrates you. Next thing, I'm sorry, lock it down.
No, I thought I knew exactly what you were saying.
It doesn't happen.
what I'm
It doesn't happen. You're like, remember, and I think that's when the relationship ended. Remember that time? He would always say we had sex on the hood of that car,
Yeah,
and one
that
time
was
she
fun.
said, I don't remember anymore. I'm like, then what the F am I doing with you?
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole thing? Like cars get the girl.
I don't think that. I mean,
Kind of bullshit, right?
I think it's like comedy. It's like you don't want the girl that wants you for your car. You don't want the girl that wants you for your act. I mean, did I want to date all the dudes that hit on me because I drove an EOS? No, I did. I didn't want to, but I wanted to get something out of that crappy car.
You could say something came out of that EOS.
Exactly.
So, Geno hosted a show called Love Taxi.
I did.
Right?
I mean, if a guy hosts a show and it never airs on TV, does it make a sound? It's really one of those.
It does, because it's on your sizzle reel.
It really is.
And basically, you were it was a cross between like Cash Cab and Blind Date.
There was a show. The show I did was called Love Taxi, and it's so funny because the more you're in this business, the more you. At first, you realize, because we're so selfish, but we're like, oh, this only happened to me, and then you realize this happens every other day. I hosted a show called Love Taxi, 13 episodes, which in the biz, that's a full season. Full season for the for the Fine Living Network, which is defunct, and we'll get to the point of that in half a minute, which is how the story ends, sadly. But I was the host, and it was Cash Cab, and I'm literally driving a cab. Excuse me, it was Cash Cab. I wouldn't be here talking to you people. Anyway, it was Love Taxi, which I told you was 99% Blind Date, 1% Cash Cab, which is why it wasn't that great. But I'm driving a cab around the streets of New York with a girl in the back seat, and we pick up dudes. They get in, and they talk to each other. It's like speed dating in the back of the cab, and if they hit it off, I stop the cab, tell the guy they're going on a date. We got done 13 episodes. I literally was flown down to Knoxville, Tennessee. I was going to be the face of Fine Living. I would be like, hey, it's Geno Bisconte. You're watching Fine Living Network, Love Taxi's next. And then Fine Living decided to go to the cooking channel, became the cooking channel.
And what's a show named Love Taxi going to do on the cooking channel?
No.
Nothing. And welcome to the entertainment industry,
and
folks.
So for the longest time, I sat there like, well, let me hold, because I have all the episodes. I'm like, I don't want to put them out. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to. But now I'm like, the hell with it. So I just put the sizzle reel out of the show, and I have all the episodes. I'm thinking of making a DVD out of them and selling them after the show. What am I going to do, get sued? Are either of you people from Fine Living still watching? No.
The network doesn't exist.
No.
It's cooking now. Go make an egg.
Lousy.
So, you also were hosting a show for Craftsman, and it was called the NASCAR Challenge.
That was actually just an ad where I played a kooky game show host. Isn't that
You were like in a garage with like Craftsman.
Yeah.
There was like the podium.
The Think Fast Challenge. That was something
cool.
I did for ESPN, which was awesome. Because they were just looking for a goofy sports.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a compliment or an insult when the people at ESPN are like,
looking for like a goofy ass.
Exactly. Like, hey, that Geno guy would be perfect for this. It was like one of the easiest things. I just walked in. They're like, yeah, can you do this? I'm like, yeah. And I read it once. They're like, yeah, you're gonna do this. You're gonna be a goofy idiot host. I'm like, thanks, thanks a lot.
Backhanded compliment.
Exactly.
So, what does NASCAR stand for?
Oh, and by the way, NASCAR stand for?
Yeah.
North American Stock Car Alliance of Racers. North American Stock Car Alliance of Racing.
Isn't it the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing?
Yes, that's what it is. You took the bait. So yeah, I was trying to test you.
True or false? Air is used in NASCAR.
Air?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like in the tires.
True.
False.
What is used?
Nitrogen.
But nitrogen is made of air.
But air are like regular air that we just pump something up
You
with.
didn't say regular air.
Yeah,
Can look, Trebek, you got to be more specific.
Hey, I never said it was a game show.
Oh,
I just asked you a couple
okay,
questions.
okay.
And basically what happens is this stuff expands too quickly.
Oh, okay.
Nitrogen doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Budweiser or Bud Light?
I prefer Bud Light because I'm more of an alcoholic, but Budweiser's stronger. But Daddy likes to do a lot of shots of whiskey, so I just have a Bud Light there because I don't want to fill up when, really. And here's the thing.
But by the way, there's no answer to that. Both are correct. Both are American. Both are.
But here's the problem. If you ever go to the Pacific Northwest, where that girl, who again, not going to find her buddy, lived, I would go there a lot, and I don't like microbrews. If you like them, great. I'm not saying they're not good.
Too hoppy.
They're too much flavor. Right. They're all too hoppy, and that's
some are not all. I mean,
but that's just it. You go to a bar in Portland or Seattle, and you walk in and you say, "I want a Bud and a shot of Jameson," because you're a what's the word I'm looking for? You're
Yankee.
a goddamn man.
Oh.
You walk into the bar and say, "Can I get a shot of?" And it's a beautiful and they look at you, and it's one thing to say we don't have. They don't. They look at you like you're some kind of moron. Like, oh, you don't want that, sir. You want our double craft hoppy raspberry wheat ale, and I'm like, I don't want that, honestly. But the only thing I'm really good at is dick jokes and drinking. I'm very good. Like sometimes I'll take 3 months off from drinking, and my friends will always be like, well, "What did you do?" And then I get vindictive.
I wrote dick jokes.
Exactly. No, but they're like, "What did you do? Why'd you stop drinking?" And I get vindictive. I'm like, nothing. I just needed to dry out because I'm so good at it that after a while my liver's like, "What are we doing?"
I'm a pro.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that a draft for drinking?
Oh God.
Well, they have drafts.
I'd be top 10. I can honestly say that. I'm very good at that. I headline a show in Alaska every year in the middle of February in Anchorage. There's a bar called Coots. And I've been doing it, this is going on 10 years now.
Wow.
And my friends, and the people out there are amazing, and my friends always bust my chops. They're like, ugh, why would you go to Alaska in the middle of winter? And I always say, well, we live in New York, where in summer it's so hot, we almost hibernate. But in Alaska, anyone knows, it's beautiful. And in the summer, days are like 18 hours, and all people do is hang outside, they fish, they hunt. It's amazing. But in the winter, it's dark and dreary. They want to do two. They want to do two things in the middle of winter: stay inside, get drunk, and hear jokes. Well, ta-da, boom, hello.
There you go.
So I go out there every year, find people at Coots.
Find people at Coots. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what have we learned? Dick jokes. Loves whiskey and beer.
Who doesn't?
Drove a taxi around for a game show that doesn't exist. Is a hell of a stand-up comedian. Go and see Geno, absolutely, 100%. Also, he has a show called Geno's Picks. That's every week, right, during the football season?
Entering its 7th season, where I pick 4 games every week against the spread. You are winning money if you go 51.37% against the spread.
It's one of those things where you could watch and you could totally base your picks on it, but get entertained as well. He does a segment called What Grinds My Gears, and it's always hilarious.
It's a
so
good
you
time.
Want to check that out?
Good
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. GenoBisconte.com, at Geno Bisconte on Twitter as well, right?
Come see me every Monday night in New York at the Comic Strip, hosting a Monday Night Football show. You're stopping by week 1.
I am.
Giants fan.
That's right.
We'll get drunk, stay late, watch the Chargers against the Cardinals. They're going to get killed against the Cardinals.
You think so?
Philip Rivers is going to be like, stop intercepting me!
Geno Bisconte, everyone. Hey, that's FLD Nights. I'm Derek D. And drive stick shift. Drive a manual.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Geno. Sure, Bay.
Bay.
Stupid Bay.
Oh,
Oh, that's my Bay.
that's my bay, yo. That was great. I mean, I had a blast. That's all I care about.